they talk about that they're gonna have a color wheel for everything. Y'all color wheel truthers can rejoice, okay? Hey y'all! Welcome back to my channel, vstreetlove. I'm Vanessa, my pronouns are she, her, and on this channel I like to make silly Sims videos. But today, we're talking about Paralives. So someone from the Paralives team did reach out to me to send me some information. And so I'm gonna share with you some of that information because I think that is interesting. Paralives is an upcoming dollhouse life simulation indie game for PC and Mac. Okay, so already, being for PC and Mac, lit. In Paralives, you are free to build homes, create parafolks, and manage their lives inside their homes and all around an open world town. Open world. They are speaking to the simmer in all of us, I feel like. The game features innovative build tools that are easy to use but powerful for advanced builders. The simulation mode allows players to explore a city full of events, people to meet, and ways to make their characters evolve and live a happy life, or not, if they choose to. Creating the best life for your parafolks couldn't be possible without enjoying what the town has to offer beyond the walls of their houses. That's why Paralives lets you explore a cozy, open-world neighborhood filled with shops, parks, workplaces, and other interesting spots to discover and meet people. Building a dream house requires a lot of flexible tools. In Paralives, builders are not limited to a grid. No grid, you say? Okay, that is pretty cool. My first thought though is like, oh, but what if I want things to be aligned? Hopefully there's an easy way to like make things like aligned and match up if you want that to be the case. So very exciting. Players can build walls of any length at any angle. Your perfect house contains curved and split level platforms. Paralives has the tools for that. You want to create your real life home? Use the in-game measuring tape to recreate the exact dimensions. Being able to recreate things to scale, I am all about that. And that's so cool that they give you a tool in the game to be able to do that. You can also fully customize object colors and textures, as well as the size of windows and furniture. Just select an object, pull the corner anchors, and make that window larger or upgrade that single bed into a king-size bed. The name Paralives is a reference to parallel lives, allowing players to live different virtual lives and build homes to stage them. So then they have like a little list of gameplay features that are going to be available at launch, which is December 8th. That's when early access will be released. And then what they plan for in the future after that. So what they expect to have available for early access: open world town, day and night cycle, work as a rabbit hole, career progression, personality traits, emotions, wants, skills, needs, social interactions, relationship development, multi-select characters, and do anything as a group. Oh! It's sounding like get together, right? The Sims get together. Cooking system, house fires. That is so funny that that is going to be included. Bills, having children, aging and death, character autonomy, shops and restaurants, museum and collections, modding tools to add and edit the game's content. All right, so modders can rejoice. Paralives is planning on having modding available through the Steam Workshop at launch. So already it's seeming like Paralives is planning on staying around. What they plan to come out while the game is in early access: dogs, cats, and horses, cars and bikes. Oh, sorry. I might have a meltdown. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to get a life simulation game that's going to have cars. I'm going to move on. Boats and houseboats. Oh, houseboats. Swimming, story progression for NPCs, tools to edit and create towns. I'm sorry. I'm getting so excited. I'm getting so excited. Okay. Gardening and fishing, organizing social events like parties and weddings, a calendar, and a family tree. So those are the things that are not going to be available at the beginning of early access this December, but what they plan to bring to the game. It's so interesting because I know for a fact The Sims 4, when it launched, was just not nearly close to the game that we got today. So what we are getting as a basis, I'm curious what the wants and the emotions look like in Paralives versus playing The Sims 4. I'm curious about the open world town and what that looks like in comparison to playing The Sims 4 today. And I'm really excited about being able to do anything as a group. I wonder what that looks like. And I'm excited that they already have plans to have dogs, cats, and horses come out during early access, as well as social events and the calendar. Because, you know, the way I like to play The Sims, all my Sims like to do stuff together. So I can imagine me wanting to play Paralives very similarly, where I want all my Parafolk to like do things together, meet up with each other, hang out together, and all that sort of thing. And obviously the tools to edit and create towns. Like, I'm like, oh, are we gonna be able to share towns with each other and make it downloadable for our different games, especially if they're making mods available on early access day one? Like, very interesting. I don't know, I can feel my heart flutter. I'm so excited. Okay, so for build mode, they talk about that they're gonna have a color wheel for everything. Y'all color wheel truthers can rejoice, okay? Flexible wall placement tools, curved and at any angle. Wild. Optional grid for wall placement. Thank you. Thank you for thinking of me, Paralives. I feel like you heard my concern and already addressed it before I could read this little pamphlet. Split level platforms, building multiple floors, moving existing walls, object resizing, stairs and roof placement, and fences. So that's all expected to be available on day one early access. But what they plan on bringing to the game: advanced roof tools, advanced stair tools, placing windows and doors on curved walls, basement tools, and pulls. Okay, interesting. So we will be able to make curved walls, but our doors and windows will not be able to go onto them immediately. Okay. And we won't have basements and we won't have pools to start. Once again, Sims 4 did not have that when it launched, so understandable. There must be something on the back end when it comes to coding these games that makes pools like impossible. And then for the Paramaker, that's what they're calling their character creation. So they plan on having on day one, early access launch, color wheel for everything, height slider, body and face sliders, tattoo placement tool, layering and mixing of tops, undershirt with a jacket. Again, I can feel my heart palpitating. I'm so excited. Being able to layer clothes, I'm like, I literally wish we could do that in The Sims 4. And the tattoo placement tool sounds interesting because right now the way it works in The Sims 4 is you have to choose the body part where you want the tattoo to go. With the latest tattoo update that we got with The Sims 4, I wish that we could take a tattoo that we could download from the gallery and put it anywhere. So I wonder if the tattoo placement tool that Paralives is talking about allows for something like that. Like, here's a tattoo, put it anywhere on a pair of folks' body. And then asymmetry for eye color, socks, and more. And a genetic system. The asymmetry, very exciting. And also the sliders. The sliders seem, and the height sliders. I know how y'all are about height. I am very interested to see how the height sliders are going to work in game, especially for a pair of folks of different ages. I'm very curious how they solve for that. So what they're planning on bringing to the Paramaker after launch is creating and managing multiple outfits, creating pets in the Paramaker, obviously, because pets will be available later, and then editing the genetics of a para with advanced tools. Oh, I wonder if the genetic tool maker that they're going to launch will not allow you to edit after you do the genetics. So that's interesting. Okay, so I want to take a look at some of the screenshots that they also have about their game. I'm seeing so much about this UI. It's so interesting. First of all, we've got some body presets. We can see we have a plus size sim here. And then we have these different sliders. It looks like we can change the height with this slider, the head size, the hand size, I guess the belly fat, and then I guess like the fatness versus the fitness. Yeah, I like all of these different push and pull kind of sliders. And then I guess you can preview them here. And then this is where you can determine the height. Behind my head here, it looks like these are the different body sections that you can change: body, face, hair, and makeup last. And then you can click on the different presets, it seems like. So right now we're in the body presets section, but I wonder if there are chest presets, bottom body shape presets, body hair, tattoos, and etc. Ooh, and then up here I'm seeing that you can change their clothing and identity. I wonder what this is like, considering it comes after all of the rest of this stuff. Maybe their personality? Is that what's happening here? And then I see something for genetics, and I'm seeing, I don't know what this little icon means, but already this UI is very cute. And I like how we're kind of like in a little dressing room. And then here we have another view of another little character and some different clothes. The texture is so good. I just love this art style. I know I've said that a few times, but I do. I love this art style. Oh, and then look, the waist width versus the waist height. Oh, this is so interesting. So you can use these exact numbers to like put it exactly where you want it to be. And they're showing us this color wheel. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have this pattern here on this jacket. So we are able to select fancy tops. And then we have some preset, I guess, color schemes. And then in the pattern, we have some different colors we can choose in the pattern. And then, yeah, we can select the exact text code that we want to use. This is going to be a game changer. This is definitely going to be something that I know there is a certain subsect of the Sims community that is about to be obsessed. Okay, so here we're in the personality section. So this is so interesting because before I saw something about identity. So I wonder if this is a different game mode. Oh, it is. Okay, so the actual file name for this is like live mode. So this is not in the character creator section. This is when we're actually playing the game. So I'm seeing our character's name is Anissa. She has a lot of creativity, but, you know, mid kind of mind level, I guess, and charisma level. She's got a serious vibe. She's good at taking care of others. And then we have to pick a talent. So then these are our different talents. We can be a jack of all trades, musically talented, fitness talented, and some other ones. We can also be good at nothing, which I do love. And then lifestyles, we could turn on or off vegetarian, I guess, what our cleaning habits are like, and what our sleeping habits are like. So this is cute. And then it looks like we have an opportunity to add more characters, but I wonder how that works when it's time to like play the game, because this is supposedly live mode. This is a screenshot showing Anissa, I guess, going to get a job, and it looks like she was able to upgrade her job rank where she gets more money. And then we can see when she works. And I guess this little arrow must be like where we are in the week. And we see here that her job starts in 18 hours. I'm just so curious how this will actually play. I think this screenshot is so interesting because they specifically say that weddings will be coming not at launch, but later. But I guess this is just a preview of what we can be expecting. And if this isn't a wedding and this is just like a romantic moment, I mean, it feels like weddings are implied because she's in like a white sparkly dress. But this, so I just want to say the Paralives art style and the way that it looks is the most excited I've been for another life simulation game since The Sims 4. When Life by You was threatening to be released, and obviously that project was canceled, I thought that game looked so ugly. And then Inzoi is so interesting because Inzoi looks very good, but it's also a hyper realistic situation going on, which to me takes some of the fun out of the fact that it's supposed to be a game, but doesn't mean I don't want to play it. I do want to play it at some point. But to me, Paralives looks so good. I love this. It's such a distinct style that I think lends itself well to like a cozy game environment and lends itself well to being a game that it feels like it's not going to just get outdated looking in like a year or two. So I was excited to see that Paralives actually has a release date. I have been following Paralives loosely in the background for the last couple of years. So I'm excited to see that we will be able to play it this year. And I feel like this year is such a big year for life simulation gaming. Obviously, Inzoi has already released in early access. But the problem with Inzoi has been, aside from the fact that I have not been able to play it yet, I will make time to play Inzoi and test it out myself, is that it already has had a steep drop off in the number of people who are playing that game. And there are people who are speculating that that's because there's no modding capability for that game yet. And in fact, a lot of people say that the only reason why they still play The Sims 4 is because of the modding community and because of CC creators. I have seen many people in my comments tell me over and over again that without mods and CC, they would not be playing The Sims 4 right now. So I do think that Inzoi did kind of shoot itself in the foot by not making those features, the ability to mod and create CC for its game, available right at launch. So I'm actually really excited to hear that Paralives has decided that they're going to work with the Steam Workshop to make sure that modding is available for their game on day one of early access. I'm not familiar with the Steam Workshop. If you have worked with it before to customize a game, let me know how that works. Is it like CurseForge where you're able to like manage files and download mods in CC, or is it something else? What I love about the idea of Paralives is the indie vibes of it all. So at this point, the Paralives studio has only 13 employees, and they say that they are growing. And they even shared all the employees' names of who are involved creating this game. It is an indie game. And I feel like indie games are definitely having a moment right now. To me, The Sims and The Sims 4 is kind of like Coke and Pepsi. And games like Enzoy and Paralives are like other soda brands coming into the market, right? Coke and Pepsi aren't going anywhere, but it's nice to have other options of refreshing drinks. And that's what I feel about Paralives. I mean, from the moment I saw that Paralives was in development, the moment I found out about Paralives, I was really excited because I was like, oh, this looks like the kind of game that I would want to play versus Life by You, which unfortunately has been canceled, and really sadly too, because I would have played that, and Enzoy, which I still want to play Enzoy. I just haven't prioritized that yet. Paralives, I'm excited to get my hand on that game and like poke around. And I also like the idea of playing a game that is done by an indie studio. I think on one hand, it'll help the community who ends up being fans of this game remember that some of the features and things that we want for the game, provided that it plays well, will be coming, but it's really just a small team of people who are putting it together. I think that people don't have a lot of patience and empathy for anything that's going on at The Sims, because at this point, The Sims is owned by EA, and EA is a major global corporation that, yeah, anything that we don't have for The Sims kind of comes down to because EA is maybe cutting corners or not prioritizing it, even if maybe The Sims developers want to prioritize different things for The Sims. I also think that it's okay to compare games like Paralives and Enzoy to The Sims because The Sims has been our mainstay life simulation game for the past 20 plus years. There has been no other game that could come to the market and stay and make as big of an impact as The Sims. So we are in a very special moment right now where there are games that are actually able to come to market and get players' hands on them to play them that are comparable to what The Sims is given to us in the market right now. One of the things that I noticed about Paralives, at least with the information that we have so far, is it feels more like a cozy, realistic game. There doesn't seem to be as much emphasis on the silliness with occults, but from the video that I saw, it just feels like it's going to be like a sweet, fun game where you can play with life, play with building. And I'm interested in seeing how that actually plays in real life. So I am about to react to the Paralives trailer that was released on June 8th. Let me just scrub through and point out the things that stood out to me. One, seeing English in the game, very interesting. Curious if they will translate things to other languages or if they've just made a decision that like the game's going to be in English and that's what it is. Already I'm seeing some details like the ivy on the outside of the buildings and then like this little item here, seeing this stick out a little bit with this curved roof. Again, we've got more signage and stuff in English specifically, but I love seeing the I think, is it the Parafolk? Let me see what they're calling them. Yeah, Parafolks. Okay, and then it looks like we have a view of what gameplay might look like. So we've got, it seems like maybe the people in our family or our household that we can play with. I'm seeing the amount of money that we have. This looks like changing levels, like going downstairs or upstairs, the time, the day, and then obviously changing the speed of the game. Okay, behind my face, we have some little box. So I'm thinking maybe that's inventory. We have a book. Maybe that's, actually, I'm not sure what I would guess this is because this looks like maybe information about our parafolk. This looks like maybe it could be their skills, their job, their relationships. And I'm not sure what this would be. And then maybe this is showing off like what they're currently doing, like they're currently talking. Okay, and then we're seeing what the dialogue box looks like to get our parafolk to do things. I'm not clearly seeing like who it is that we're playing with, which is interesting. Like in The Sims, we have a plumb bob, so you can clearly see like who it is that you're playing with. But I'm sure that that can be resolved easily, and this isn't actually the game. First of all, they look so good. These characters look so good. I love the hand-drawn style. I love how it looks like almost like an illustration or picture book. And I'm seeing here something really exciting, which is being able to resize objects just instantly. So if you saw here, we went from like a single chair to a love seat to a couch just by dragging out this arrow. And it kind of reminds me of some stuff that we've seen with Project Renee once upon a time, but I haven't heard about Project Renee in a little bit. Then they go on to show off doing the same thing to the window. So you saw the arrows on the side before, but now you can see that they're dragging it from the bottom up to make it go from 3 rows to 2 rows. Then we have like a whole household here. So we've got some of our parafolk like sitting on the couch, and they're sitting in all different ways, I'm realizing. You've got this para who's got their ankles up on the couch and their feet. This para who's got their legs and their arms crossed. This one who's like laying on the couch basically upside down. This one's sitting more like typically how you might expect, but like leaning forward and like resting their chin on their hand. And then this one's sitting on the corner of the couch. You got the baby sitting down on the floor. And then you've got someone else sitting here on a chair. And I'm seeing slippers in the back. And I'm seeing some incense here. Or like, what are these? Like essential oil sticks or whatever. Some artwork, a lot of clutter, record player, newspaper. I don't know why the newspapers make me so excited. This as well, laying down on the picnic blanket. Also being able to read the newspaper, Paralives News. Who's Mustache Man? Should I be concerned about this? The pizza also looks pretty realistic. Actually, it looks pretty appetizing. And then we've got some wine. There's a bread basket here. It looks like a botanical book. And then we've got some parafolk walking around town. So this looks like a town square. I see a for sale sign back here. And then it looks like these are different stores, and it seems like you can go inside of them. It looks like people are shopping outside. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. Okay, and so, you know, I'm like, what's going on with their hair? Okay, so I already see, we got a few different things going on with their hair. We've got this hairstyle with some color at the bottom. We've seen this parafolk. So I have not actually covered anything about Paralives on my channel, but I have seen things just out in, you know, the news about Paralives. So I know we've seen this parafolk before, but then this one looks new. We've got some face piercings. I love the pattern on their top, and I love their hair. So cute. And I see somebody with some red bottoms sitting at this cafe here, this cafe table. Okay, so then they start showing off like floor plans, and then they are very sneaky and quick to show off the curved walls and how they're curving any which way, essentially. And then the curved foundation platforms or whatever. They wanted to get that out of the way early. And then they show off like an even bigger home, which I'm seeing some of the variations. Like we've got this extra long dining table, but then we've got like the short love seats. And I'm assuming all of this is adjustable in the size. Okay, so now we're in another household. I see a big grand piano. I see some artwork back here that I think is kind of neat. The food is so interesting because it's like, it looks kind of realistic compared to how cartoony they look. And I think I kind of like that contrast. Someone back here with purple hair, that looks really neat. I am excited by the houseplant potential. And I love this sim here wearing that same hair, but then now with like a more fitted green dress and some simple bracelets. I've been yelling about simple bracelets in The Sims for like the last year and some change. I would love some simple bracelets. But these parafolk look cool. And then, oh, this looks like a different angle of the same room. So this looks like wall-to-wall bookshelves. Maybe the same item repeated a couple times. Or I don't know if it's been like extended. And then it looks like we follow this parafolk for a while through their life. Maybe going from teenagehood to maybe like young adulthood. And then like the room kind of changes. We switch to a different house. It looks like they get married and she's getting a little bit older. She's painting. Oh, I see a microwave on top of what I assume is the dishwasher back here. A fridge that fits underneath the cabinets. Some different wallpaper, some different artwork. I like this wicker light. More muffins. They love muffins. I like this rug. And even her in her little outfit, she's so cute with her little makeup, her hair, her wedding ring that she's wearing as a necklace. And she's lived a full life. So then who are these little paras? They're cute. I love seeing the little baby. All right, so I guess baby's confirmed out the gate. And then the little toddler. I like this artwork up here. I think this is cute. And then a hanging house plant. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then we're building a kitchen. We're filling it with clutter. Oh, I see a little sponge next to the sink. Hold on, I don't think you could see that. Look, there's a little sponge, and then there's the sink. We've got a tea kettle on the stove as well as a pan on the stove. Was that separately placed? It looks like it. I mean, I don't know how much of this is movie magic. That's the only thing about trailers. You never know what's real and what's not real, but this looks promising. Like, look at all the clutter that goes inside of here. If we can place all of that individually, we've got some like flour, some tins, some cookies, some dishes as well. We put some plants on top of the fridge, the microwave next to the fridge, and then all the different kind of foods. It looks like this is some sort of breakfast plate, some more muffins, a fruit bowl, that same bread basket that we saw earlier, and some pancakes. And then, yeah, this pair is having an emotional breakdown, which is interesting. But before we leave from here, I am seeing some Band-Aids here on the shelf. We have a washer dryer in here. I wonder if it wasn't a dishwasher that I saw earlier, if it was a washer dryer, which made sense. And I didn't say washer dryer because I just assumed dishwasher because we were talking about a kitchen, but like it made sense that was a washer dryer in there instead. We have a partially open window here too. And then I see like a little loofah sponge and some cleaning supplies. I just like how I'm just kind of ignoring her, having a moment. And then we have not Bob and not Eliza fighting with each other here. I love the patterns. I'm such a pattern girly. This right here is fantastic. I love this for us. So cute. And then the kid coming to comfort, who I assume is their mom. And then, yeah, everyone's just giggling, having a happy-go-lucky time. This looks like it's a gathering of some sort. Oh, I like the tattoo that I'm seeing back here on this para. Oh, we got some dreads. Yeah, so far I've clocked like 3 different Afro-textured hairstyles. Oh, this makes 4 different Afro-textured hairstyles, at least. Plus the ones for the baby that I saw, I think. Paralives coming December 8th, 2025. But let me know what you think. Do you think that you will be playing Paralives when it comes out in December? They said that they're going to send me a Steam key so I can try it out myself. So you're going to want to subscribe to my channel, like and share this video, and turn on the post notifications so you know when my next video goes up. I actually go live weekly on this channel playing The Sims. So if you're interested in live simulation gaming, you're gonna wanna hang out on this channel because there's more to come. But don't worry, there's more fun to be had on my channel. Check out my other Sims videos while you're here. And until next time, y'all, dag dag!